Hello, welcome to Longshot Larry Sports Astrology. Today we're looking at the FA Cup final for Chelsea vs Liverpool on the 14th of May. First chart we're looking at today is for a total lunar eclipse which is coming up on the 16th of May, which is a day and a half after this game, and it's quite amazing because the eclipse is falling exactly across the ascendant and descendant set for Wembley Stadium, and this eclipse is square Saturn. The Sun is sextile Neptune and the Moon is trine, and it's also aligned with the midheaven. So I'm not exactly sure what that portends, but it is interesting. It's coming up exactly on the ascendant-descendant set for Wembley. So here we have a chart set for the start of the game. So what you can see here is that Venus is on the descendant within a degree, so relations with Venus are going to be important for deciding the outcome of this game. You can also see that Mars here is just past the part of fortune, 6 minutes away. It is applying to a sextile to the north. No, that is another pattern. It is relatively minor. Moon is in Scorpio. It's not going to quite reach a quincunx to Mercury during regulation time. So looking at the Frawley method now. In this game, Liverpool are the favourites, so they're going to be the ascendant Libra and its ruler Venus. Because we have Cancer on the MC under the Frawley method, we don't have a ruler for that. Chelsea are the underdogs, so they're going to be represented by Aries on the descendant and Mars, and Capricorn on the IC and Saturn. So Venus here representing Liverpool is actually in the 7th house within a degree of Chelsea. Now that is a very strong indication for Chelsea in the Frawley method. So that's 1 point. Mars, the ruler of the 7th, is separating from the part of fortune, so we don't include that. If it was applying, that would be another one for Chelsea. And looking at the anti-scion positions, we can see the only aspect the Moon's going to make to a Lord here is it's going to conjunct the anti-scion of Saturn in 2 degrees. Saturn rules the 4th house representing Chelsea, so that's another point for Chelsea. So we've got 2 indicators for Chelsea from this chart. Looking at the Chelsea coach here, we only have solar data here, so I can't be 100% sure, but what's he got going on? Well, he's a Virgo. His Mercury is in Virgo here, ruling his Virgo sun, and Jupiter is applying to a quincunx to that Mercury, so that's within a degree, so that's one potential winning indicator there. How does he relate to Venus? Well, his Venus is in Libra, so it's quite strong. It is on the ascendant at the start, which I find interesting, and when we look at the captain, you'll see they both have the Venus and Sun in very similar positions, which is quite unusual. The Moon in this chart is going to square his Jupiter here during the game. It's past a trine to Saturn. So how is Jupiter lined up in his chart? Well, Jupiter is sextile Neptune, trine Pluto. Nothing major there. It is quincunx's Sun and Mercury and quincunx's Saturn, so it is the focal point of a yod. Is that enough to win? Looking at the captain for Chelsea, he's also a Virgo with his Sun in Virgo and also has his Venus in Libra as well. Quite interesting. So his Venus is also on the ascendant, so that's a team area for Chelsea. His Venus natally is square Neptune. That can either be dreams coming true or disappointment. He's also got Jupiter is widely opposing his Mercury, which rules his Virgo sun, 1.5 degrees, and his Mercury is square Uranus. So Jupiter is quite close to a square to Uranus, which is an exciting pattern. And Mercury is also square Jupiter natally. So it is the focal point of a T-square. I would rate that as a positive. However, Jupiter is quite some way away. Also has Uranus up here in Taurus applying to a trine to his Mars, a minor positive indicator. Looking at Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager, how does he line up today? Well, you can see Jurgen Klopp has that Saturn trine his Sun, which if you're interested, I looked at that in the Villarreal semi-final, and I'll put a link up here at the top if you're interested in how that played out in that game. But that is a very good aspect. It is separating a little bit now, separating 27 minutes. It is a positive influence. My question is, when we looked at that eclipse at the start with the eclipse square Saturn, is that going to impact on how Saturn functions for the next few weeks? Not quite sure. This is a couple of days prior, but That one's for the astrological theorists out there. We'll see how it plays out. He does have his Mercury very close to the MC, which is good. Mercury rules his Gemini Sun. Mercury natally is sextile Pluto, Uranus. It's also square Mars, which is probably mixed. How does he relate to Venus? Well, natally Venus is trine his Saturn and MC, which is very positive. It is semi-square his Sun natally, which is a minor irritation, but probably overall positive. Looking at the progressions, this is one area where you can see that maybe the Frawley method is going to be working here, because we have an exact time here, and his progress moon is 11 Libra 17. That's 5 minutes away past an opposition to Saturn in his 10th house. Now that is potentially a negative. He also has his progress Saturn exactly on the descendant. That's an important area when we look at the captain Jurgen Henderson. He does have his progress Sun sextile Mars, which is generally an indication of he's going to have another good 6 months. Looking at the captain here, Jurgen Henderson for Liverpool, you can see his Mars is exactly on the descendant at the start. So his Mars natally is square Neptune and square Jupiter. Jupiter's also on the MC at the start, so that's okay. Venus is just past a square to his Neptune, 5 minutes away. It's a bit of a concern there. He also has his Venus in Taurus natally, so he relates quite well to Venus, and Venus is trine Saturn. You'll also see generally he has Saturn applying to a trine to his Sun, which is in operation for a while, which is a very good aspect. And he also has the Sun today exactly trine his natal Saturn, applying 4 minutes, so it will be exact during the game. So in summary, we have that lunar eclipse exactly on the ascendant descendant in a day and a half, and it is square Saturn. I'm very interested to see if that has an influence on this game. Does it impact on how Saturn is working for Liverpool? We have Venus on the descendant at the start, and that is a very strong indication for Chelsea under the Frawley method. We also have another minor indication there from the moon, so we have 2 indications for Chelsea from that method. The Chelsea coach and captain look okay. They do have Jupiter in a good area, which is quite common when teams win a championship. I wouldn't say they're overly strong though. For Liverpool, they're definitely benefiting from Saturn alignments, both the coach and captain. The concern I think today for Liverpool is those alignments with the ascendant descendant, especially around the descendant. That progress moon opposite the Saturn for the coach, I think, is potentially really the only downside I can see for Liverpool today. So today I think that Frawley method is very strong for Chelsea. I wouldn't be going against that, so I think they should do very well today and probably get the win. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.